What's going on YouTube? It's me. Today we're doing Fluffy from HackTheBox. So which is I think extremely great box, and we're gonna be started with to check S&P shares, and then with this enumeration we will see that there's a some shares which is writable. But writable shares we are always using NTLM theft, but NTLM theft will not work on this right now, and it's definitely patched. But we can show some files and which is showing us the guidance, and we can go for the NTLM hash grabbing with another so there's the great things about this box, because you will see different ways, right? So after that's all, we will dump bloodhound data, and with this bloodhound data we will able to be see there is some misconfiguration on the users. And with there's some users that has great ADCS misconfiguration, and we're gonna be checking it and how is it going. So let's just start. So actually this is real Windows pen test, and we can just start with mmap scan, but it's not recovered, so we can just start with netexec SMP. And there's also we're gonna be start with the username and password, which is I think really cool ones is over here. So let me close it everything here, and let me go on and netexec SMP, and giving an IP addresses will giving up about information about DC, and domain name is over here. So we can just learn there's a domain name is fluffy.htp and it's calling DC01. You can just use sudo netexec smb and giving IP addresses, and this just generate dash host file on your etc host file, and it will be generate your etc host file directly. So it can take a time, so I already done it, and let me just check it with you and then verify it. And I can show netexec cannot configure it correctly, so we can also add it fluffy.htp. That's because there's also we are working on domain controller, so this is where we can give just with domain directly, right? So now we can also check netexec smp, and you will check it with dc01 fluffy.htp. So for the username, we are just grab username here as g.flashmine, right? So for the password, we got this password, and let me just copy it and paste it here. I'm just verifying if this creds are matching on SMP. You can also check if there's if they are matching with LDApp, right? So if it's work for LDApp, so you can just dump bloodhound data. But for the now, we just don't need it. So I'm gonna be started with netexec smb again, because I want to do some more enumeration. So we can also check dash users for grabbing here username list, and this is also great for the be enumerating smb. It's because sometimes we can show there is some misconfiguration on the users list. For example, if it's gonna say there's when it says carbtgt is k desperation sent to services account, sometimes there's a users and they are giving in description their password, and this is the first things to understand the misconfiguration on Active Directory. So what I'm gonna do is just start it here. I'm creating here user list. I'm gonna add netexec users, and just clear it and cat netexec users. What I'm gonna do is just printing here the fifth value, so the cat netexec users, and then after that just EW key and print $5 will giving us here the fifth value, and say with them users.txt. After that all, you will be see here there's users.txt we have. And now let me just run netexec smb again, and with this all we can just check if we want to do password spray, right? So I'm gonna use --pass polyshy. The pass polyshy will showing us if we can do here password spray, or we can doing is it's like if when we do the password spray, maybe there's a lookup issue. So there's two things you have to be understand. The first thing is account lookup threshold is none. This is the first things, and domain password is complex. So this is the second things you have to be checked. When it's 0 and when it's the none, no, you can do the password spray. So what I'm gonna do is just giving here's continue on success. And for the user list, like giving for username parameter, and just start it, and we're gonna be check if we can do password spray, and if we can do it, so that means maybe we can find some users, which users using this password also with his users password, right? So but there is nothing we got. So this is cool. Now we can just check SMB shares with dash shares, of course, with netexec, and it's gonna be seeing here if there's something interesting on Active Directory shares, and which is important, right? So the other things I want to do is here netexec SMB, and you can also use Spider Plus for reading the data in the shares and on the locale. But we can just show it here. There's an IT shares which is readable and writable. That IT share is not the the default one. The system wall, netslogin, IPCNC, and admin, those are the default one, but IT is not. For the be understanding what's going on IT, maybe there is some files. You can also use -m Spider Plus, or you can use SMB clients, SMB client ng or something like that to be accesses it. So for the access here, I'm gonna use SMB client ng. So you have to be give host on the host part the fluffy.htp, and you have to be give username and password here, and it will be accessed on SMB shares. And now we can use the any shares if we can accessible on readable or writable, right? So you can just check shares, and you will be see here IT was readable and writable. So I'm gonna use IT, and after that I'm gonna check with ls. So there's some file we found, but nothing seems like interesting is here, seems like, right? So there's some key passive file. We got it here, upgrade notice.pdf, and you can also check it with the reading this JSON file, and you will also see here this PDF and the zip file. Everything is here, which is upgrade notice.pdf. For the download it, I'm gonna use it was download or get. I don't really remember right now. Maybe it's get. Was something like that. So it was we just got it here, upgrade notice.pdf. So what I'm gonna use is and upgrade. It's gonna say there is an opt imlabel loader file format. This is really interesting because I was really available to be read it. So it's not important too much. We can just go on and home. Let me just go on HackTheBox. Find here fluffy and open a folder and open the PDF file. So it seems like upgrade process for their security systems, and they are just showing on IT department. For to be checking the systems are, you will be see here recent vulnerabilities, which is CVE 2025. These are seems like interesting, right? And especially those were the first two things. So for to be check it, let me just start it on it, and let me go on the internet. No, there's nothing interesting we can find. So it just says NTLM hash disclosure spoofing vulnerability, and maybe we have to do something manually. So I will rather to be using it actually, and then when we're gonna be checking it that one. So it seems like it's the same one. It's just about NTLM hash. But we can just show it here. Windows File Explorer allows an unauthorized attacker performing spoofing over network. So we can show on the Rapid7. So it's gonna say the description. The Windows File Explorer allows an unauthorized attacker to perform spoofing over network. So if we want to be just go on here and or add it here GitHub, we will see here, there is some interesting files here, which is there's maybe we can find a poke, and we can use this poke directly, and it will be the easier for us because we are just playing to CTF, right? So it seems like I just visited here before, and I just found it here. So it's gonna be create library ms file, and then when we can upload library ms file it in the zip format, so malicious SMB path, and then upon the completion this triggers SMB authentication request. So I just downloaded it before, so we can just go on it and git clone and the same thing. So we can just go on CVE, and if we're gonna be check it here ls, and there's a so exploit that Python. What I'm gonna do is when Python exploit that Python, and it's gonna say you have to be give the file name, IP addresses, and affected version. I'm not really sure if it's needed affected version, but let's just see. I'm gonna use -i for giving my IP addresses, of course, and -f I'm giving the file name. Let's call it important, and in the here I think we can use to be uploaded it. So output file is exploit.zip. So let me find if there's exploit.zip, and we just found that there is exploit.zip. So what I'm gonna use it is smb client ng, and use it, and let me just start responder here, and here I'm gonna we're gonna upload exploit.zip, which is here. Let me upload exploit.zip. Maybe it's just put. Yeah, of course it is. And when we just upload the exploit.zip, it should be come back as let me just check ls. Okay, it seems like deleted, right? So let me put it again. Let me just check it. Yeah, exploit.zip is here. So it should come back as NTLM hash actually, but I don't know why is not. Let's just wait. I don't think so. We just need to be waited here, but I'm not sure why is not triggered, but it should come back as NTLM hash. This is interesting, to be honest. Exploit zip is still here, but we just don't get it here anything. I really don't think so if we are doing something wrong. Okay, so we got the PAGLA hash. It seems like it's about I grabbed this hash before, so that's why I'm just not getting the p.agla hash. So it seems like about it. So I have to be remove my to responder database, and we can just try it again after I did it. Sudo user remove user local binary and responder. So it was somewhere in locale, maybe. Nope. Let's say in this way. Let's say user. Okay, where is locate responder database? It was something like that. Responder. Maybe we can just do on here ls-la user share responder. There was a somewhere the responder database. Yes, it is user share responder database. Yes. Okay, so it of course it will say user share responder database. Nice. Okay, now we can do sudo responder again. Let me just check it here, ls, and put exploit.zip again. Okay, so that's why I'm doing everything from scratch. Okay, so we just got it here, the PAGLA hash. Nice. Okay, so we can just exit here and go back, and let's just save it as p.agla.hash. Nice. So now we can try to be crack at it. -- wordless raku.txt. So it says not actually crackable, but this is bullshit. So I have to be also remove my sudo remove user share John database. Maybe okay, sudo root John. Okay, so sudo su, let me go on the root tab. There should be John, and yeah, there's John poach and John log. I remove everything here, of course. Exit. Nice. So let me try to be cracked again. It's, I think, was not crackable because of my database and history. I think that's why. Okay, this is interesting because it say it's not crackable. Maybe we are just don't save it as in the correct format. So what I'm gonna do is Joan again, and for PAGLA hash, because it was the really easy the password to be correct. So we got it or first that's actually not first scratch, right? So it's also we also grab the get the creds from beginning, right? So what I'm gonna do is right now password spray again, and for all user, maybe some users is using his password as his password or as her password, right? So this is the first thing I want to do on the users.txt actually. So it seems like only PAGLA is working his using his password as password. So the next thing I want to do is net exec ld app, and then giving the here -- bloodhound and -- DNS server, and giving IP addresses for grab bloodhound data. It actually can take a time, so I already done it, but so let me just go on bloodhound first. So what we are just got it right, so far we got g.flashmine, right? So let me just go on here looking for member. So we are just member of domain user, and domain user member of the users. So we can also go for here and add the owned. This is important. So p.agla, and let me just go on the p.agla, and we can so there's the output object control, and let me add it to owned, and then we can also so we are member of service account managers. This is the second interesting things. The first interesting things is, of course, we are member of services account managers, and we have generic all on service accounts. So this is the first thing I think we can use for to be or attack path, of course, and we can use it to be the goal for the second tab. But before doing this, I want to check if there's a curberstable or asrupstable users, and there is some users they are actually serviceable. These are the curberstable users. And you can sign it here like WinRM services, SA services, but I really don't think so. Their hashes are crackable, so we can check it as approachable, but there is no. But we have 3 user, which is WinRM services, LDApp, and SA services. Actually, these are important, but not just for now. What I'm gonna do is just go back and go for PAGLA, and then go for output object control. And we can we are a member of service account, and we can generate all on services account. And if you want to be check it here, members of on them, and we can see there are curberstable users, which is SA services, LDApp services, and WinRM services, of course. So or attack path could be here. So WinRM services is member of remote management users, right? So this is the first thing we can go just for on the grab user.txt. So what I'm gonna do is add it here WinRM services, and you will be see here in the attack path we are member of services account managers, and services account managers has generic all service accounts, so we can use PAGILA with generic all on service accounts, and we can use service account to generic rights on the WinRM services. So this is actually the first things I want to do, because I think this is important for to be doing in the first thing, right? So we have generic all in this, so we have full access on service accounts. So this is the first thing we have to be understand. The other things I want to be show you in here, github.com, and there's some tool I found before, I think, which is awesome, so you have to be go for it. So it's over here. So let me just go on my home, Elliot tools, cd find aces, and source python 3 main, and okay, this is how we can use it, by the way. So you can use it in this way, fluffy.htp, and you just have to be give your the username and password here. This is the first thing you have to be do. And let me just give it here, fluffy.htp, and let me see if it's really work. And with this one we can check also the ACLs with find object ACLs, and you will be see here it will be find everything unit. So we can just, so we are member of service accounts and we have the full control on service accounts, and it's calling here certificate authority service, and we have on read control, and with this read control we can go for LDAP services, WinRM services, and the SA services, right? Certificate authority services. So this is the how we can do it. So let me just go on Bloodhound again, and let's just do this attack. So we are a member of the service account managers, so we can use this PAGILA on the service account with everything, right? So we can just use it here generic right on the WinRM services. Let me just try to be use it. It's if you're gonna be checking it generic right with Linux service, you can see targeted Kerberos or shadow credential attacks, right? I really don't recommend the targeted Kerberos. If you're gonna be use it here targeted Kerberos, you will be get WinRM services the NTLM hashes, but sometimes it's not really usable because maybe you don't have any the password list to crack his password. So I always use it here set by shadow attack. So you can use set by 80 shadow, and this is how we can actually use it. This is really easy, to be honest. I'm gonna use it here 10 10 11 69, and the target attack will be WinRM services. For the username and passwords, p.agila and fluffy.htp, and dash password we can just give it here the password of p.agila. So if you're gonna be trying to be running it, we will available to be get WinRM services anti-hash directly. So there's could be nothing interesting to be cracked it, and the other things you need to be know. It says are adding key credential WinRM services. It says could not update key credential WinRM services. That's actually correct because of what we don't have really we don't have permission yet because we are on here as a member of service account. So first of all, we have to be added as all staff on service accounts, and we have to be giving our staff in the we have to be member of the service account first. So let me just go on the github.com. So we can use it here bloody AD directly, by the way. So let me go here, auto bloody AD from my repository, and add user to group, which is I'm gonna use it here. So let me just add it first myself on this group, because we have generic all dco1 fluffy.htp, And for the B domain, we can just use it here, fluffy.htb, right? So net exec. And for username and password, we can use it here directly. Okay, that's here. So add group member. So we just need to be added here, group member of service accounts, which is here, right? Let me just add it on this. Okay, this is interesting. We are trying to be added here, p.agila. Okay, p.agila added the service accounts now. Now you can run setpy80 because we are now member of service accounts, so we can use generic rights as p.agila directly. So this is the first things what I'm gonna be trying to be to tell you about this. So let's just say cloud security grid issue. So you can use fake time for that, but I'm always using nowadays sudo rdate and giving the domain here, and it will be fixing our time issue directly. And you can just run your command directly for the big grep anti-hash without using any the fake time or something like that. So which is I think cool. So with this one, so our time and machine time will be matched, and now we can use any commands we want to run when the recorded time, and we just got it here, winrm services, right? So let me just run net exec winrm, and yeah, dco1 fluffy.htp-o winrm services and -h, and just giving here this hashes. So it seems like we payment. Let me just use eval winrm for -i and giving the domain, and we are just in and as the winrm services. Let me go to the desktop and verify if we get it here, the user.txt. For the second things, and we are just now the winrm services, right? So we can also go for when we are member of service accounts members, and we can show the SA services, LDApp services, and winrm services is the member of service accounts. So what I'm gonna do is actually about the service accounts. So the SA services seems like interesting because of ADCS. So what I'm gonna be checking here is member of, and we can show the third publishers, and third publishers is always that always remind me ADCS. And when we check it here, outbound object control, when we member of service accounts, we can generate right on winrm and LDApp services. So this is the first things we may want to do. But for now, we have just owned the here p.agila and winrm services. Let me just add it here on the own it, but change my path finding from p.agila and to SA services, right? CA services, what's it called? I don't care. CA services, that's right. So now we are a member of service account managers, and we have general all on service accounts. So we did it just adding ourselves on service accounts, and with service accounts we can generate on SA services. So let's just do what we are doing before for winrm services and adding ourselves group again, and it's gonna say this entry already exists. And with this set by shadow attack, now I'm gonna be checking my target account with SA services. So and with this one we will able to be get SA services anti-hash directly, of course. So with the SA services, what I'm gonna check it with, of course, ADCS, because it's always remind me to ADCS, to be honest. Okay, so we got it here, SA services hash. So let me just add it on SA services, and this is its hash. So let me just add it here on hash, and for change it, I'm gonna be checking it with LDApp first. if we have LDF set. Of course we have, then I'm gonna check dash m and ADCS. It will be showing up if there's an ADCS enrollments. So we have an enrollments on DC01, and we found here SA name fluffy DC01 SA, right? So let's just say set pi 80 find. So gonna be using it directly. SA services fluffy.htp. The 4 hashes, I think we can use the hashes in this way. Okay, just give it here the hashes. Let's see if it will find any vulnerable enrollment here. Alright, it's fun, and it says our ESC 16. So I'm gonna save it because this could be important later. But for the how we can do attack, I'm definitely using here. So you have to be understand which version setpi you are using. If you're using 5.02, and you can just go on setpi GitHub repository and looking for wiki. Okay, so let me show you everything from scratch. For example, you got it here, right? So just go for wiki and go for privilege escalation and looking for escalation 16. So when we are checking for what it's actually about escalation 16 is okay, so escalation 16. So escalation 16 is security extension disabled on SA globally. So let me just check in if it's really focusing in the same things. So we can manage SA the domain admin. So that means so we can just go for domain admins directly. This is the first thing we have to be understand. Okay. The second thing is here SA name is giving us this here. So this is vulnerable to be grabbed. It's in when manage SA on domain admins. So if I'm gonna to summary the ESC 60 before, the idea of ESC 16 is to change the UPN. We can change for the UPN p.agila. It does not matter any of the group of service account. And so while changing it when we can use p.agila, but for update we need SA services for rule abuse, and we can use SA services, and then gonna be used. So if you're gonna be scroll down, it's actually you'll be understand everything about ESC 16 because it's gonna be showing you everything you need first of all. So what I'm gonna do is, so we just needed here service account member, right? So if you remember before, we used bloody 80 to be added here service accounts to p.agila. So now p.agila is member of service accounts, and the service account meaning here to output object control on SA services. So we can update any member of the service accounts to be to change UPN with the p.agila. I'm gonna be use p.agila because she has a password, so they have the hashes that could be complex. So the best way to be use p.agila hashes, by the way. So let's just you know what edit is with p.agila again. So we are just the refreshing it because there's a HackTheBox bot, and you will be clean up your scripts really fast. So this is the first thing you have to be done before. So the second thing is there. Step 2, update the victim accounts UPN the target administrator. So now we are a member of service accounts. So what I'm gonna do is the service accounts is here. It maybe is not show on the setpi. Okay, you will be see here you can enroll in here third publishers, right? So just read it here, okay? You can enroll third publishers. So let me just go on the here third publishers. Okay, you can see here, member of members, I'm sorry, the members is SA services, so we can enroll with SCA services, but we can just use it for the be change or the be update account. We can use any of them. It's not really important, okay? It's not really important, so you can use any of them. For example, we can use p.egla. Let me just verify it if it's really added, and now we can just use update command from here. So we can just copy off that and just use it directly, but let's just do it here. Set by account. I think I did it before, yes. So just you have to be give username, password, targets, and UPN you have to be choosing here as a services. Okay, this is you know, you have to be use administrator, and for the user you have to use as a services. Now we're gonna be change the UPN of administrator with SA services. Okay, so now SA services UPN is equal administrator UPN. So this is the first thing we have to be understand. The second thing is you can check it with read, and then you will be see here and SN and the certificate authority services, which is CA services, and the user principal name, which is UPN, is administrator now. So we just verify the attribute update. So or UPN now is administrator. This the fourth one. We have to be request SA services PVX directly, and it will be giving us, of course, here administrator PVX, right? Because we update SCA services UPN with administrator UPN. But when I'm going to check it, the CN is giving us certificate authority services, which is CA services. So let me just request it. Set pi-ad request -dc-ip. I think I did it before, yes. Just giving here username, hashes, targets, and SA is coming from here. SA name, check it here. So it's fluffy DC01. What I'm gonna do for the template, and if we're gonna be just check it here, so it should be somewhere the account. Wait, where's actually it? Okay, so we just did update. Okay, the request command. Okay, here. Request certificates the victim users from any suitable client authentication template. So, for example, you can use user. Why we are just using here user here? Okay, SA name is coming from here. But why we are using here user? Because it say request a certificate as a victim user from any suitable client authentication templates. For example, user. So that's why I'm just going to be user here, user. So let me just requesting to here, and you will be see here it will be saving as the administrator PVX. Okay, so we got administrator PVX is here. So now if you are trying to be correct this administrator PVX, you will be not allowed it. It's because we're going to be checking here to read again. You will be see here administrator UPN is now is for CA services. So this administrator PVX file is now for CA services. So now we have to be revert the UPN change again. And let me just do it here. Set pi-ad again and account for update. And UPN we have to be changed it CA services again. So what I'm gonna be doing it, and to be if I'm gonna be read it, and you will be see here UPN, I mean user principal name is equal CA services. So now we can authentication administrator PVX, and it will be giving us administrator hashes here. dash dc IP. I'm gonna use 10.10.11.96. The username domain is not specified, it says, so I think we have to be specified. The domain should be enough, I hope. Fluffy.htp. I hope it will be enough to be giving here. We can also give SID, of course, but alright, so now we got it here at administrator anti-hash net exec smbdc01 fluffy.htp -u administrator -h, and just giving this hash, and let's see if we are really permanent, right? Nice, so it seems like work. Now you can dump everything or just read the type C users administrator desktop root.txt with it, and it's gonna be used via my exec here, by the way. So the main topic of this box, you shut the fuck up. The main the topic of this box is of course ESC16, because this is really important, right? So then how we can update, which user we can use UPN for, but for the UPN we have to use SA services, of course, but for the other things we can use any member of the service account, and why we for example we use PAGLA to be added or use on the next one or something like that, right? So that was the unique ones of this box, and it was really not easy. So it should be to be summed as the okay. So now you can see here administrator the root.txt, by the way. Thanks for watching.